My name is John Wanoa, and I'm a surrogate King William III, King George III, King George IV, and King William IV. We go on to the schooner, the flagship coming into New Zealand from Australia, and that's when our flag was formed with the British people that landed in Kororareka afterwards, the Kororareka flag now, and set up this flag as the founding of New Zealand in 1834, and then in 1835 on the next flagship mast and the cross rung, you see both flags, the British flag and the United Tribes flag, sitting opposite each other as a private commercial trading bank contract between Britain and New Zealand, and the Union Jack up the top of the flag as the flag of New Zealand. So then we go on to the Queen. Queen Victoria has been the niece of King William IV, and she took over from William and formed the Crown Corporations with Queen Elizabeth II under the Union Jack flag of New Zealand. So now we go on to the King George IV, the son of King George III, with the 8-point star. As you can see, St. Patrick, 8-point star on our flag that marks the municipalities of the flag contract with our King and the paramount chiefs in New Zealand at that time. King George IV, 1823, made a contract with Te Waikato Wharehere Manukau and bought New Zealand from this chief. And so we go on to now to King William IV, 8-point star as well, and he solidified that contract in 1823 with the 1835 Municipalities Act of the 8-point star of St. Patrick's Church for leased lands and the contract for buying and selling property in New Zealand. So now we go on to King William III of Orange. He created the Bank of England Act, 1694, the Pound Note Act that we have with King Tawhio, 1888. We have the use of that pound note, and the Bank of England Act. He was credited with for the municipalities of picking up the lease rents of the lands. So that's, we go on to the red and white flag of Tainui in Waikato that has British of King William IV as well. It's the 8-point star of St. Patrick again, but it's not a contract flag with Westminster Parliament. It is a protectorate only in the sailing ships through the seas around the world, and has the same rights as the other flag, except it doesn't have a contract with the paramount chiefs. It is only for the tribes at the lower end of New Zealand, and the other upper northern tribes have the black strip in their flag. I'll tell you about that afterwards. Now we go on to Wiremu Tahu Pōtiki Ratana. He is responsible for bringing the church into Maori and the creation of Maori with the government of New Zealand, Crown Corporations. And in 1862, the Act of the Native Land Court was created from a paramount chief, Rewharewha Manukau, in the Pukekohe area of Uatawa, and that formed the basis of the Native Land Act that the government of New Zealand always goes down to Ratana Church in Wanganui to get permission to use the Native Land Act, and that's what I say come out of the Manukau title of Te Waikato Wharehere Manukau and his descendant Rewharewha Manukau. Te Waikato Wharehere Manukau being the seller of the land of New Zealand country, soil, land to King George IV in 1823. So now we go on to the paramount chiefs, that we had a native court hearing in Epsom in Te Unga Waka Marae, and that was one of 11 Native Magistrate Courts hearings we set up for this flag as our jurisdiction, our 1835 Constitution and legal authority to use this flag for our commercial trading bank use and to trade with the other countries of the world as we wish that we are doing so far now. I went to England and raised this flag over there in the Supreme Court and opened up a native magistrate court there as well with the natives of England. And in the St. James Park, I raised it down in the paddock with the police in attendance as well to stamp our contract. Go back to the kings that made the titles in the first place, right?
Waitangi Marae, King's Bench Native Court.